Apple, 3 a.m.
Bandai Namco returns with its 17th entry in the long-running Tales series that spans decades. After the longest hiatus in franchise history, can the action RPG formula still pique our interest, or should this tale be told for the last time?
In ages long past, it was believed that Mother Dana was indestructible and everlasting.
Like in the majority of JRPGs, the quality of the game is directly linked with how good the plot and characters are. Luckily, Tales of Arise does not disappoint. The story revolves around two races, the Renans and the Danans. 3 centuries ago, the Renans invaded planet Dana using their superior technology, terrifying Zulgo beasts, and magical arts to subjugate and enslave the Danan people. The Renans divided the planet into 5 realms, with each realm controlled by its own lord. Periodically, the lords of each realm compete in a crown contest to determine the next Renan supreme ruler. The contest is based off the amount of astral energy extracted by the Danan people and their environment. This is where you come in. Alphen the Iron Mask. You're a slave with no memory. Pretty original, right? After seeing your friends and fellow slaves abused and killed by Renan soldiers, Alphen decides to fight back and joins Zephyr and his resistance group, the Crimson Crows, rescuing Xion in the process, a captive being transferred by Renan soldiers. Xion is not a normal captive, she's a Renan herself, a cursed one at that. Touching her is like sticking a fork in a power outlet, as she involuntarily shocks you with high voltage electricity, incapacitating anyone that gets too close. Well, anyone except Alphen. The Iron Mask is incapable of feeling pain, so naturally, Alphen and Xion make a pretty good team. This is made evident when Alphen is able to summon the Blazing Sword, which damages all who wield it, from Xion's master core. Alphen being numb to any pain makes him the perfect person to wield such power, while Xion, being a Renan, can heal him of his wounds with her magical arts. Alphen, Xion, and Zephyr set off to take down each of the lords in the 5 realms to finally bring an end to the Renan's tyranny. What I like the most about the story is that while it is set in a fictitious world, it borrows from real-life themes such as slavery and totalitarianism and applies it exceptionally well. Not to get too spoilery, but the second realm of Cyslodia is a complete police state where the Danan citizens have little freedom to move around as they please and are incentivized to snitch on their fellow Danans on anything that looks shady. The entire realm has a dog-eat-dog, can't trust your neighbor feel to it that is reminiscent of the Cold War era. By bringing in real-world themes into the narrative, Bandai Namco is able to better illustrate the lore of Arise in a more serious and meaningful way.
If she is your prisoner, that's a rather loose leash you have her on.
She's not a prisoner.
So why do I get the feeling there's a rat about the house? No offense intended. See, I've grown comfortable with the likely outcome I'll be stabbed in the back, but stabbed in the front?
We risked our lives.
As always with a Tales game, it's all about the battle system. Fast-paced, hectic, non-stop action is the best way to describe Arise's battle system. Starting with the most basic, arts are special attacks that you can use to mix in with your normal attacks, as long as you have points in the art gauge, which fills up quickly. Comboing your arts and normal attacks are crucial not just for the damage, but to extend the combo meter. High combos lead to breaking your opponent's guard, leaving them at your mercy until your combo ends. You also have a boost gauge that fills up as you do damage, allowing for boost attacks and boost strikes. For example, Xion, being the gunner, can cause a boost break on any flying enemies using her boost attack, which is great for those pesky flying Zulgos that are hard to hit. Breaking your enemy's defense and filling up their stagger gauge by stringing high combos triggers Boost Strike, which is a team attack between 2 party members. This is where things start to heat up. Boost Strikes are different depending on the 2 party members that are teaming up, which means that between the 6 playable characters, there are a lot of awesome, over-the-top skills at your disposal. But wait, there's more. You have access to the Overlimit state that is triggered once you take enough damage, or if you manage to pull off a number of perfect evades. While in the Overlimit state, Your art gauge turns into a blue bar, allowing you to use as many arts as you can in that time limit. In the overlimit state, each character has their own signature attack called Mystic Arts, which really ups the ante. Between your arts, boost strikes, and mystic arts, there's plenty of flashy, high damage, screen-filling special attacks that we've come to love and expect out of a JRPG. These abilities are gained from battles, as well as leveling up your character via the skill panel. Each battle and side quest gives you skill points, which you use in the skill panel to gain new skills, learn new arts, and permanent stat boosts. It's not like a sphere grid where you're limited on which upgrade you can choose depending on what's nearby, so you have a certain amount of freedom to choose what arts and skills you want to learn. All these skills at your disposal are key in defeating the lords and the harder enemies in your journey. Outside of the regular Zoogles that you encounter out in the wild, there are Giant Zoogles that you come across. These are optional bosses that you could skip altogether, but of course, why would you want to? These Giant Zoogles are just chilling in the wild and can be challenged whenever you like, even when you're severely underleveled. You can also run into a Giant Zoogle mid-battle, so always be on the alert. Arise has perfected the battle system of the Tales franchise, improving on the formula and making it feel fresh and exciting, while still feeling familiar and in keeping with the franchise. The art style of Arise is a visual treat. The character's 3D models layered with cel shading fit perfectly with the beautiful and vibrant environments of each of the realms, from the vivid fires of Calaglia to the muted bone-chilling frozen landscape of Cyslodia. Playing it on PlayStation 5, I was given the all-too-familiar option of either a graphics mode targeting 4K resolution at the expense of frame rate, or performance mode, which keeps the frame rate locked at a silky smooth 60 frames per second by lowering the resolution a bit. I barely noticed the difference in visuals while in graphics mode as opposed to performance mode. However, the frame rate difference between the two can be quite unsettling. The combat is meant to be fast and fluid, and in graphics mode, the choppy, inconsistent frame rate hinders the experience a bit. One of my favorite things about Arise, and what really makes the game special in my opinion, is the lovable characters, and that is amplified by the excellent performance by the entire cast. The way Alphen's voice trembles when he is angered, the childlike playfulness of Law and Rinwell, the disappointment in Shion's otherwise cold and reserved attitude whenever she's attempting to flirt with Alphen, and he's just not picking up on the signals.
Don't just close in on me like that! If you get any closer, you're going to set off my thorns, you know.
The characters are written exceptionally well, and the voice actors' brilliant performances really bring the characters to life. Their personalities are on full display whenever you're greeted to a skit between the characters. By the end, I was totally invested with each of the characters in ways that most RPGs can only hope for.
It's okay. I'll stop talking about it. In any case, I'm just glad that you're the one who ended up with the Master Core. Thank you, Shion, for everything. Now let's go check out those gates of fire.
Really? I swear. You're bad for the heart.
Great story, lovable characters, and an addictive combat and progression system. Those are really the main things I look for in a JRPG, and Tales of Arise hits on all cylinders, breathing new life in the long-running franchise. Those new to the series will be blown away with the fast-paced but deep battle mechanics to go along with an impactful story. This is easily one of the best games of the year, and likely winner for RPG of the year. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. Now watch some of our other stuff. And quit playing. Like, subscribe, and hit that bell.